Hello everyone, my name is VoidDoctor and welcome back to another episode on the InfinityCraft server. And we're starting off today's episode in front of the wool farm that we constructed last episode, and I still think this build looks pretty interesting. I wouldn't say it's my favorite build in all of Westhold, but I think it adds a pretty interesting shape to the skyline. Like, it's a curve, which is something you don't really see very often, so I think it looks neat, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite build just to look at from my favorite perch on top of this large tree. I mean, I'd say it looks okay, but it's definitely not my favorite. But I haven't actually made a lot of off-camera progress, to be honest. I've been working on other projects, so I haven't actually made a lot of off-camera progress between episodes, so we're pretty much just going to jump right into the first thing I'd like to work on in this video, which is just going to be chopping down a bunch of trees. We're just going back to base Minecraft. We're just chopping down some trees, but to chop down those trees, I'm probably going to need to fix my axe. Trade with you. And you. I can't forget about you. And to repair the axe, I'll trade with you. And you too. And perhaps I'll trade with you to repair my axe too. Alright, now that I've gotten my axe most of the way repaired, I think we're going to do a third-person tree chopping time-lapse. This should be fun. Enjoy the time-lapse. Also, before we start the time-lapse, if you notice that these leaves just don't decay, also this tree has just been here for a while, but these leaves just don't decay because they're just in the fog. They're not, I don't think I'm actually rendering them. So these leaves will sometimes sit here for days on end without decaying, which is quite comedic. Alright folks, that was quite the time-lapse, and I also hope this sort of puts into perspective the amount of grind work that goes into creating an InfinityCraft episode. This is just the resources for this series have taken up. I've probably spent at least 15 hours of my life just gathering resources on in this one season of InfinityCraft. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it's also pretty fun, especially when we can do time lapses like that. But the next thing I'd like to work on is sort of, again, working on this little area down here that we're rapidly expanding. And I want to start adding in like a little plaza sort of courtyard area back here with maybe a fountain and some buildings surrounding it. We'll probably only get a little bit done today because I have another major project that I'd like to work on that's not really related to building or redstone later in the episode. But first, I just want to kind of get this whole place, you know, going, and I also maybe want to put 1 or 2 buildings around it, and of course get like the fountain and things going. But the first thing we're going to need to do is get some materials put away into some shulker boxes for this build. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do down here is just kind of map out some roads, sort of get some little paths set up leading out to the little... I kind of want to build like a fountain square out here, so just some paths. We'll detail these in a moment, but right now just some fairly simple little paths. And I kind of want this, you know, the square not to be like a walled off area that's like a, you know, just it's like a plaza. No, I want it to be something more like a just a large courtyard surrounded by buildings. So yeah, it's kind of my goal. So yeah, I'm just making some paths out here, and maybe we'll plan out like or maybe we'll just construct a fountain in the center of this area once we get these buildings all set up, or once we get like the, you know, the whole area sort of planned out. Alright, so I'm really liking the sort of organic nature of these paths, sort of not making any distinct shape, and they can probably meet right here and sort of start to go into town. But I want there to be sort of buildings all over the place here, and even, of course, have these paths branching out to different areas, because this is meant to feel like a city. And in most cities, you have, like, even over here, you have like blocks. That's literally what they're called. They're called, you have blocks with like buildings in the middle of them. So like here, there'd be buildings in an actual city. It's definitely more condensed down. Even in, you know, a lot of like older cities, buildings were a lot more condensed down. But that's my goal for this city, is to eventually have the buildings be a bit more compact. But I don't want this city to feel ridiculously cramped. Like, I want it to feel like it's pretty packed, but not like it's uncomfortably cramped. So that's not my goal, is to have it feel ridiculous here. But, you know, something. And I think in the center right here, there's one of 2 things we could put. We could put a custom tree, sort of like the ones that I've just been dotting around the scenery around here. Something like this. Or we could put a fountain. And I think I'm leaning towards the fountain just because the custom trees are already here, and it wouldn't be very spectacular to have a custom tree here. But a fountain... There's currently no fountains in the entire town, so I think I want to put some sort of pretty simple fountain here, just as like a little meeting point for people to sort of come and hang out. And maybe we can like put some stone bricks and stuff around here to sort of signify that this is a more important area. Okay, so this is a very neat looking fountain. I think the little mini spire at the top looks cool, and it seems like something maybe some, you know, local fishermen or something could go, you know, pay their tribute to before going out on the seas to catch the day's fish, or even doing trade. Like people who are going on very long expeditions could probably come here and, you know, offer something to the fountain just for like good luck. So I think that's a pretty cool like backstory for this. But the next thing I'd like to do is begin to work on sort of, I don't know. I want to sort of add a few other things around here that'll just make it a bit nicer, and then we can work on maybe putting a building here. I had a cool idea. Maybe we could have the roads sort of go in here, but then also sort of like they came out in Ys, and it would, and so this side would go out into the road over there, and this side would go out into the road over there. So we could kind of, if you can imagine it, sort of connect this to the road system. Hold on, I'll just get on top of the roof here. We could kind of connect this section to the road system over there, and just kind of have this sort of branch. Maybe eventually, once I do what I would like to do with this ravine, we could connect the roads, this little road area, to the ravine over here. But I'm not done with, or I haven't done what I want to do with this ravine. And it's a pretty cool idea, but it requires that I get a ton of resources first. But the first thing I'd like to do is just add a few, maybe like little benches and things around here. Just places for people to sit and things. Stuff like that. Alright, everyone. So I've just gotten a couple benches set up here. And I've also gotten just some of the ground bone mealed around here. Because after doing a tad bit of terraforming so that I could... so that I could fit the fountain in here. It left the ground a little bit looking like a golf course. Minecraft tends to do that after you take out all the grass. So I just replaced some of the grass, and I think this place looks pretty nice. Originally, I wanted to go for a little bit more of a manicured approach, leaves and things everywhere. Leaves and things in, like, rows. But I think this looks a bit nicer. Since this place, this little area down here, this whole town isn't supposed to be a very pristine town. It's supposed to be sort of a very busy port town, so I don't imagine it being like a super clean, very manicured place. Now, maybe in the future we could have some more manicured parts of the town like elsewhere, but here I don't think that's really what I want to do here. But the next thing I'd like to do is start to construct some sort of building here, and I have a pretty cool idea. I want to have like a like some sort of guild building, and then eventually we could maybe put a villager trading hall in here. But today, all I want to do is just get the building set up. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is actually level or make this hill quite a bit smaller, because currently there isn't enough space, because I want to have it probably at this Y level. So we're going to have to make this section a bit smaller. So that's the first thing I have to do. Alright, so I've just made this landscape around here a little bit better for this build. Still left a little bit of a hill here, since I actually kind of liked how it looked, but I actually made it slightly smoother too. Just the curve, like this sort of shape of the landscape here, just made it slightly smoother. And now I want to get started on this build. So I've just had this shulker box sitting on me the whole time we've been building this area, but I actually haven't used anything in it, and that's because I'm pretty much just going to use it for this build, because this build is probably going to be quite expensive. And you'll see what I mean once I construct the bottom floor, because it's quite a large build. Yeah, it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, but I decided on keeping its size a little bit smaller than I at first planned. But basically what I want to do is have it be like a sort of diagonal building, but then the second floor, I just have a pretty cool block palette in mind, using a bunch of the wood that we just farmed, which is kind of funny considering that I just farmed that and now I'm going to be using like half of it. But yeah, I just like the look of stripped oak. I completely forgot what that block was, but yeah, stripped oak and oak logs. Let me just give you a quick example. Yeah, for some reason, this block palette just really appeals to me, so I want to make a second floor that's pretty much just this pattern over and over again, and then put a roof on it, just a standard roof. And I just feel like this guild building, maybe it'll be a farmer's guild, I don't know, but I just feel like this guild building just looks nice, sort of filling up the skyline here. Like if we fly away to my favorite little perch on top of this tree. I don't actually know if this is the same tree I perch on every time, but see, it's gonna fill up the skyline nicely and sort of create sight lines. Like that's what I want to do. Is sort of have, as you go up the build, I want like the town's at a steady incline, so I want to sort of accentuate that by sort of making the buildings get more like larger and larger. Like you have the giant storage hall and then the massive castle, so it just sort of gives you a sense of scale when you look back and you just see the storage hall with the castle sort of looming behind it. Okay, so I'm actually really happy with how this whole build has really come together. I think the contrast between the regular oak logs and the dark oak logs is pretty nice, and when you go inside, I think the very basic interior, basically just 2 floors, looks very nice. What I mean by 2 floors is just literally 2 floors. However, the last thing that I'd like to do in today's episode is a little bit strange. I'd like to hunt a few of Minecraft's advancements. Not a lot, but a few, just for the fun of it. So I'm going to create a list of all the advancements, or I'm just going to basically think of a few advancements that I'd like to get in today's episode, and that's pretty much what we're going to do. So some of these are going to be kind of difficult to get, like the next generation. We actually don't know where the dragon egg is, but that's a little bit controversial, because it's a little bit of an interesting situation that's going on with the dragon egg right now. And of course, free the end would be quite annoying to get, because basically too much mustard killed the ender dragon, which means I'd have to respawn it. So I'd rather not do that. The end again that involves respawning the ender dragon and collect dragons. Okay, that requires it's This is a lot of things. The end category is a very small advancement category. Adventure, this is something that I really want to do. These two and this one and maybe this one, I don't know. But a lot of these are pretty easy to get. Husbandry, this should be fairly simple. Yeah, I have copper and I have honeycomb. Yeah, I have that. Okay, a lot of these... Okay, I think the first one we could start out with is one of the easiest ones. Wax on and wax off. Those are extremely easy to get. Yeah, this is by far the easiest advancement to obtain. It literally requires 2 items. Or 3, I guess. Wax on, wax off. There we go. I think it would have been funny if I'd gone and tried to get as many advancements as I could in the shortest amount of time. Maybe we could do that with the rest of the advancements that I'm obviously not going to be able to get in this episode. I'm obviously not going to be able to get every advancement, but I'd like to get some. The one involving a target block sounds pretty cool, so I want to do that one next. So we got our little guy over there. I just decided to make him into a target dummy because I thought it was funny, and I'd say we're about 30 blocks away. And fire away. Oh, that was... Oh man, maybe we're not even 30 blocks away. I'm gonna use the Optifine Zoom. Optifine Zoom is hilarious for aiming bows. Let's see. We could cheese this. If you want to, hold on, I'm gonna pick up those arrows. It makes it extremely hard to aim with those on there. We could cheese this, but I doubt that would actually. That's not fun to cheese these advancements. Because they're really fun, you know, but it's just a lot of trying. Hopefully Sniper Duel is easier than this, because Sniper Duel, you know, it's more than like 4 pixels. Yes! Yes! There we go. That was the moment I was waiting for. Take that, target. You deserve it. It's always such a rewarding feeling once you do one of those advancements that's just not easy in the slightest. Like, this is hitting 4 pixels from 30 meters away, or 30 blocks away, which is not a very short distance. That's like more than the width of the storage hall, which is not a short distance. So 2x2 is something that I thought I must have already gotten, but apparently I didn't, and that's going to require a lot of exploring now that 1.18 is out. So maybe we won't do 2x2. Get a boat and float with a goat. That seems like a fairly easy advancement, so I think we're gonna go to a mountain and just find a goat and put it in a boat. That sounds so stupid. Ah yes, just your average day rendering chunks on InfinityCraft. Lovely. Alright, so I think this fine young man right here will be the perfect... Alright, so I think this fine young goat right here will be the perfect candidate for our whatever floats your goat advancement. If I can't actually... Oh my gosh. You down here. Right. Oh my gosh. This is proving to be... This is probably going to be proved to be as more challenging than Bullseye. What? Are you kidding me? You're moving... Oh, because... They're half... What? Why? Minecraft, explain yourself. Okay. This... Oh my gosh, I can't place a boat. I've been playing this game for many a year, and Is it that you can't place boats on land anymore? One death and a lot of head scratching later, I realized you can place boats on land. I go taking up space. Meaning I can't place boats, so I just need to place the boat. You get back here. Oh my gosh! What are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna trap this boat, right? I'm gonna force this boat to get in a this goat to get in a boat. This is driving me around the bend. This is okay. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna place a platform, and I'm gonna place a boat. You ready? And we're gonna force this goat to get in a boat with us. Yay! Yo, let's go. We're in a boat with a goat. That's fantastic. I love being in boats with goats, especially when there's hostile mobs spawning. This is fantastic. Well, actually, I guess this night is the perfect time to do this sniper duel advancement, so I'm gonna try and shoot a skeleton. I can hear mobs behind me. That was not 50 meters? What? That was totally 50 meters. Are you joking? Do you have to kill it or hit it? Hold on, let's check the advancement really quick. Okay, so apparently you have to kill it, which is very big distinction. So I'm gonna back up a ways and fire. That was not 50 meters. I could just tell that wasn't 50 meters. Okay, let's find another skeleton. Well, this might make things quite interesting. I want to kill this jockey instead. Okay, that's not gonna work. The spider moves too fast. Skeletons, however, they don't really do much unless you are attacking them. So, or if they see you, I guess. But in this case, the skeleton cannot see me, so let's just see. Can I hit that guy from up here? Yes, I can. And that was totally 50 blocks. Did it die from fire damage? Because if so, that's sad, because my bow has flame on it, which means no matter what, the skeleton will probably die from fire damage because it's power 3 flame. It's power 3 and flame. For some reason I thought flame had different levels. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Oh my gosh, they died too quick. You can't hit them. Oh no, this is not gonna work, is it? Because I'm not gonna be able to... Look, they're gonna die too quick. Oh, this isn't gonna be good. Don't die. Oh, okay, it didn't die. That's good. That's good. That's good. So I can just hit it from here. Work. Okay, that was probably not 50 meters. This is not good. I don't think it said it had to be 50 meters in the X or Z coordinate. So 50 meters in the Y coordinate. This is... Okay, that skeleton died extremely quickly. Down there? Could I hit one of those from up here? No. There was no way I could hit them from up here. I have to zoom way... Or I have to... Oh my gosh, I almost hit that skeleton. Alright, let's see. Is this 50 meters? And will the skeleton die from the flame? No! Okay, this is probably still 50 meters. Let's see. Can I hit it from up here? Please don't despawn. Please don't despawn. No way! Is it gonna despawn? No way, don't despawn. Don't despawn. Don't despawn, please. I beg of you. No, game, don't clear it out. Don't clear it out, please. I'm trying to kill it. I'm trying to kill it! No, please don't do this. Don't do this, don't do this. Oh my gosh, I'm using so many arrows right now. Just a little higher. What? That was totally 50 meters. I think Sniper Duel might be broken. Oh, that's so unfortunate because I really wanted to get that advancement. I really like those kind of fun advancements, so that's a little bit sad. Alright, so the next one I'd like to work on is one that I've actually been wanting to do anyway because it's just fun. I want to just make these signs glow, so just put the glow ink on them, and I just think it makes them look nicer, so yeah, but it also gives us the advancement, so that's pretty cool. And the storage system just kind of pops when you do this. I think it looks nice too, so yeah, this was a win-win. Or this was I guess it was a double whammy. I don't know if that's the phrase or not, but it gave us the advancement and it makes the storage system look better. Alright, so this one should be fun too. We can jump off the roof of our new building and break our fall with a honey block. What's the advancement? What? I thought that was the advancement. What? It certainly is. It is. Okay, let's see. Maybe it has to already have been placed in the world. I think maybe this advancement's broken. Maybe this is another one of them that's just broken. That's unfortunate. A lot of these advancements appear to be broken, but yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Let's find another one to replace this one, another fun one. I love how I love how sarcastic this is. Use a netherite ingot to upgrade a hoe and then reevaluate your life choices. That's so fantastic. But what I want to do is obviously tactical fishing. That one's just fun. And team up with an axolotl and win a fight. I don't think we have any tropical fish around here, so that one wouldn't really be accessible. But this one is. Catch a fish without using a fishing rod. I have buckets of water and I have fish in the river, so that's a pretty easy one to get. And I want to actually start selling fish in a bucket at the traveling wagon. So yeah. If any of you guys know something about these advancements that I don't, specifically the ones that I said are broken, aka the honey block one and the skeleton one, if you know something about them that I don't, please tell me, because I'd like to be able to complete them, but I just don't. I think they're broken. So let's just swim over to one of these little fishies over here, and we'll put our little fishy friend in a bucket. See, not too hard. And I want to start selling these just for the sole reason that some areas just for some reason don't have fish, and so you can buy them. Also, I think it's just funny, fish in a bucket. Like, look at this little item. It's so funny. Also, hidden Easter egg that not many people notice. A fish in a bucket versus a regular bucket or a water bucket. The fish in a bucket is just a block lower to signify that the fish is adding weight to the bucket. Sorry, not a block, a pixel. No fish were harmed in the making of this video. However, I think this is actually where we are going to leave off today's episode. I'm actually really happy with how this little square, the little fountain square, turned out today, and I'm hoping to expand this place in the future. And speaking of advancements, there's one advancement that you can make to advance the growth of this channel by hitting the like button and subscribing if you feel so inclined. However, my name, as always, has been Rewind. My name, as always, has been VoidDoctor. Please like, subscribe, and share if you did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.